Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today in this video we are continuing our DBMS series, and today in this video we are going to be covering inference rules for functional dependencies. Okay, so let's start. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do, and like this video if you like the content. It motivates me to make more videos and share with your peers if you find it useful. So let's get started. So starting with the inference rules for FDs, right? So there are certain functional dependencies that are very semantically obvious and that are specified by the schema designer itself, right? The schema designer will tell what all functional dependencies hold, which are obvious, right? For example, let's say if an employee number is given, then from employee number we should be able to find out the employee name, right? This functional dependency is specified on the relation schema. But there are certain other functional dependencies that can be inferred from the given set of functional dependencies, or they hold in every legal relation state of the relation schema. Okay, so these functional dependencies are said to be inferred, or they are said to be derived from the existing set of functional dependencies F. For example, let's say there is a department. For example, let's say department number has one manager. Okay, so department number has every department has a unique manager, and every manager has a unique phone number, let's say, right? So department number can be used to find out the manager, what is the manager SSN, and then manager SSN can be used to find out the manager's phone number. So in this case, we can also, from both these functional dependencies, we can also figure out that given the department number, we can also determine the phone number of the manager, right? Because since given the department number, we can find out a manager, who is the manager of that department, and given the manager SSN, we can figure out the phone number of that particular manager, right? So these two are explicitly given, but this we have derived from these two functional dependencies. So these two might be explicitly have been stated by the schema designer that these two functional dependencies hold on the relation schema, but this functional dependency also holds, which is not satisfied and is inferred from this particular functional dependency, right? So this is called as inferred, right? So it is also important now. So here if you see what is inference, so an FD X determines Y is said to be inferred from a set of functional dependencies F on a relation schema R if X determines Y holds in every legal relation state R of R, which means in every relation state, whenever any particular relation state satisfies the dependencies in F, right? Whenever a particular relation state satisfies the dependency in F, that particular dependency X determines Y, this should also hold in that particular relation state. If this is possible, if this property is satisfied, then we can say that X determines Y is inferred from F, or it can be inferred from F, right? So this happens, and then we can call it that X determines Y has been inferred from F. That is, whenever F holds, X determines Y also holds. In any relation state, wherever F holds, X determines Y also holds, which says whenever R satisfies all dependencies in F, X determines Y also holds in R, right? Whenever F exists, whenever F holds, X determines Y also holds in a particular relation state, right? So then that is called as the inferred functional dependencies, which are not explicitly stated. Okay, so then it is also important for us now to determine or to explain a concept of closure. What is the closure set, right? So the closure set is basically the set of all dependencies that include F as well as all dependencies that can be inferred from F, is called as the closure of F and is denoted by F plus. For example, let's say these two dependencies are given, right? Now all the dependencies that can be inferred using these two dependencies, right, including this or including some more, right? For example, department number determines department number. This is also a valid functional dependency. Given the department number, we can always figure out the department number, right? So we will see further what it means. But if you see, this always exists true, right? This is always true, that given a department number, you can definitely figure out the department number of the you can figure out the department number, right? So this also holds true. Similarly, if there are other functional dependencies and which are given on the database or specified on the database, so the set of all dependencies that we can infer from that particular database is called as a closure of F, right, which is denoted by F plus, right? So but how to infer, how can we infer, like how do we go forward, like how in a systematic way, how do we go forward inferencing the functional dependencies given with the given set of functional dependencies, right? So for that we have two methods. The first method we will cover today, which is called as the inference rules for FDs. So first method is called as the inference rules for FDs, which we will cover today. So now let's see what are these inference rules. So before we go to the inference rules, we should also see one more example of how this inference works. So let's say we are given this particular set of functional dependencies that hold on a relation schema R. SSN derives ename, birth date, address, D number, department number, and department. Given the department number, we can find out the department name and department manager, right? So a couple of other functional dependencies that we can infer from F is given the social security number, we can figure out DNAME and DMGRSSN. Why? Because given the social security number, we can anyways figure out the department number, which department the employee works on, because every employee works for one department, right? So given the SSN, we can figure out the department number that the employee works on, and because given the department number, we can figure out the DNAME and department name and DMGRSSN. So given the SSN alone, we can figure out both of these, right? Another functional dependency is given SSN, we can figure out what is SSN, right? And another functional dependency is given D number. So given the department number, we can figure out both department name and department manager SSN, right? Given the department number, if department number is given, we can find out both the department name and the department manager SSN. So given the department number, we can anyways find out the department name, right? Very normal. So these three can also be inferred from F, right? So just to give you an example of how this works, right? So going forward, we will also let's see inference rules for functional dependencies. There are 6 rules for functional dependencies or for inferring the functional dependencies. So first rule is also called as the reflexive rule. What does it say? If X is a superset of Y, then X determines Y. Very trivial. If X is a superset of Y, then X can definitely determine Y, right? If X is a superset of Y, for example, let's say if or it can also, okay, so given if X is a superset of Y, then X can determine Y, which means let's say if SSN and ename, it can combinedly find out SSN. Normal. If SSN is already given, we can anyways find out the value of SSN, right? Simple. Given it is already given and it can figure out SSN, right? It is a very trivial form of dependency. Now it does not have to be strictly greater than Y. X does not have to be strictly a superset of Y. It can also be equal. For example, this is also of it this is also what is it called? This is also a form of reflexive rule, because SSN can determine SSN. X is equal to Y. Set X is equal to set of Y. So this is called as the this follows the reflexive rule, from which we have inferenced this particular functional dependency, right? So this form of functional dependencies are also called as trivial functional dependencies, because it always holds true, right? Given the value of 2 things, you can definitely figure out the one thing of this. For example, let's say if I say this SSN can figure out the ename. Sorry, I have already given this example. So whenever let's say X and Y, right? If you say in a relational schema, I can show you, right? X determines Y. What does it mean? Whenever X repeats, Y repeats, right? So given the value of X anyways, XY is a superset of X. So given the value of X and Y both, we can definitely figure out X. If by x only we'll be able to figure out x. Y is additional here, right? So this is the reflexive root. Whenever this is a superset of this, we can easily determine x. For example, given 1 and a, we can definitely figure out 1, right? And given 2 and c, we can definitely figure out 2, right? So these values are same, so this is reflexive. So these type of functional dependencies are also called as trivial functional dependency, right? So when do we call a functional dependency trivial? A functional dependency is called trivial whenever x is a superset of y, right? Because it is very obvious. Let's say if I say a b c determines a, of course if a is given, then anyways a can be determined. Now if you add b c d e f, anyways a can be determined because a's value is already given, right? So this is called as trivial dependency. And any dependency in which this is not true, that is x is not a superset of y, right? X is smaller than y. In this case it is a non-trivial functional dependency because it is not obvious, right? It tells us some new information. Okay, so let's talk about the second rule, which is the augmentation rule. So augmentation rule, what it says, x determines y, it means xz determines yz. So this symbol talks about that from x determines y, what can be inferred? This is inferred, right? So this, what can be inferred? Xz gives yz. Of course you add z both sides, right? So if x can determine y, xz can definitely determine yz. If x can determine y, xz can definitely determine yz. Xz, right? Let's say c d e, right? So if x can determine y, xz yani ki 1c can definitely determine yz, ac, because we have only added one extra thing on both sides, right? Which will always be true, right? It cannot be like xz cannot determine yz. You can also try finding counter examples. That will be a very useful exercise, right? Next is transitive rule. Transitive rule, the same thing that I told you in the earlier example also. For example, that department number, given the department number, we can find out manager's SSN, and given manager SSN, we can figure out the manager phone. From these two, what can be inferred? Given the department number, we can anyways figure out manager's phone number, right? So this is a transitive rule. Okay, now then comes decomposition or projective rule. For example, x determines y, z both, then definitely x can determine y. For example, if I say, so video had already stopped filming and I didn't realize it. Okay, anyways, going forward, so decomposition or projective rule, what does it say? Let's say if x is given, like x determines yz, then from that we can infer that x determines y, right? For example, if given the department number, we can figure out the department name and department manager SSN, right? So given the department number, we can definitely find out the manager SSN, or given the department number, we can definitely figure out the D name, right? Because given the department number, we can figure out both. So one definitely we can figure out, right? Then we have union or additive rule, which says that if x determines y and x determines z, then x determines yz, which means you can combine these, right? If department number, if there are two dependencies, like department number gives department name and department number gives department manager's SSN, then definitely department number can give both, right? This dependency. Let's say this was given and this was not given, right? So from these two, we can figure out that department number gives D name and DMGR SSN, right? Now another rule is a pseudo transitive rule, which says that if x determines y, then wy determines z, which means if these both are given, then we can figure out wx determines z, right? So why? Because in wy we replaced y with x, because x can automatically determine y, so we said that wx determines z. These are pseudo transitive rules, right? So now let's talk about these three rules, IR1 to IR3. These are called as the Armstrong's inference rules. Okay, so these are Armstrong inference rules, IR1 to IR3, and they are sound and complete, right? Sound means what? Sound means that whichever functional dependency that you can infer from any given functional dependency using these three rules. Like only use these three rules and infer any functional dependency using these three rules, that will always hold true in every legal relation state of R that satisfies F, right? So any legal relation state which satisfies F, it will always satisfy that particular dependency that we inferred from that using these three rules. So that means it is sound. Complete means that if we only use these three inference rules repeatedly to infer new functional dependencies from F until no more functional dependencies can be inferred, then that will. And yeah, so by complete means that given this particular these three inference rules, right, if we keep using only these three inference rules to keep on repeatedly determining the functional dependencies until no more functional dependencies can be inferred from the given set F, then that will lead to the set of all dependencies that can be ever used to infer dependencies from F. What I mean to say is, let's say if we are given a set of functional dependencies F, now if we keep on using only these three rules to infer more dependencies from F, then it will lead to, until no more functional dependencies can be inferred, it will lead to set of all dependencies that can ever be inferred from F, right? There are no more functional dependencies that will be able to be inferred from F, right? So which means that the closure set of F plus could be determined only by using these three dependencies, right? So these three dependencies are enough to find the closure of F, which is F plus, right? So that's why it is called as the complete. It is called sound and it is called as complete. So this is the Armstrong inference rules. Inference rule 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this is what I wanted to say. Also, I wanted to say that if xy determines A, then you should not confuse it with x determines A or y determines A, right? Like here in decomposition, if these both you can decompose to give x determines y and x determines y, you cannot do that the same on the left hand side, because these both combinedly determine A, not like alone they can determine A. Okay, so this you need to be careful about. And yeah, that's all from my side, and I'll see you in my next video. And keep watching, like this video if you like my content or if you like what I taught, and subscribe to this channel so that I get more motivated to make more videos, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.